Well, let's continue on with our story on Sage Tolentino. The big signing happened the other day.
Yeah.
He has committed to play for the University of Cincinnati. And Dyan, we're honored to have with us some of the key members of the coaching staff of the Bearcats varsity. We're going to have Coach Wes Miller a little bit later on, but we've got DerMarr Johnson with us and Chad Dollar. Let's start with DerMarr because Dyan, we all know, 7-year NBA veteran, someone who's had a splendid career both at Cincinnati and at the pro level, and did play in the Philippines, left his mark solidly in PBA history, playing for Barako Bull in 2012. Coach DerMarr, so nice to see you looking well and involved in basketball and coaching the next, well, I don't know, sensation, Sage Tolentino. Hi, Coach DerMarr.
How you doing?
Welcome, Coach DerMarr and Coach Chad.
Appreciate you guys having me. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate it.
First off, DerMarr, tell us about your experience in the Philippines. And before we came on the air, you mentioned that of all the places you've been to, the one country where you had the most enjoyable experience was the Philippines. Why was that?
Yes, yeah, I tell people that all the time because I've been a lot of places and they always ask what was the best place, and I always say the Philippines. And it was because basketball, you guys love basketball. It's like the #1 sport over there. And every other country I go to, it might be soccer, it might be baseball, and you guys have the greatest fan base. You go over there and everybody, they know everything about you. You go to the malls, everyone know who you are. The fans show up to the games and they treat you like a pro when you play in the PBA. Even the local players who the good local players that's from there, they're treated like pros. They're on commercials, and it's kind of like, and it's like that in the NBA. So I appreciate the way that I was treated over there. It was first class. I just always said I wish there was a year-round thing for guys like me, because you have them 3 seasons where it's an all Filipino league, then you have a 6-5 league, and then you have an unlimited height league. I would always say I wish they just had maybe just get 2 players and they could play for the whole year.
Yeah, but Coach DerMarr, do you remember any of your teammates who you continue to keep in close touch with?
Yes, I talked to Dorian Pena. I talked to Don.
Yado? Okay.
Yeah, and I see Willie sometimes on Instagram, but I haven't talked to him.
Willie Miller.
Yeah.
Okay, now our question is, and I know Dyan is dying to ask this question.
Yeah.
Coach DerMarr, what do you think of Sage Tolentino? Is he going to be a game changer? All this hype about him. He's 7 feet 1 inch, 17 years old. Do you think he'll make an immediate impact, or do you think he'll just grow into it?
Well, that's going to depend on him. I think Sage is a great talent. I seen him a few years ago when I was just in the gym in Cincinnati, and I met him and Kai, and we were playing pickup, and see these 2 teenage 7-footers in the gym, and I thought both of them guys had bright futures. And now a few years later, I'm lucky enough to be on a team that Sage is committed to. So now it's our job to get him ready to be an impact as soon as it's possible.
Yeah, well, Coach, of course, with the success of, of UC, and new coach Wes and his new system, what is going to be really important for Sage to be able to, of course, gel with the team, get into that high level of college basketball in the United States, and, to do well?
Well, he just got to focus in and learn the things that we value and the things that we want to do as a team. And he seems like a great kid that would pick a lot of these things up very easily. We just hope that's the case. He come in and do the work, and we'll help develop him, and I think he'll be great.
Can you tell us a little bit of what it's been like with Coach Wes? It's his first year at UC, and like he's brought in his own system, players, and how excited are you for the next season?
I'm super excited, and it's been great. Coach is coming in with a lot of energy and positivity, and a family atmosphere. And I think all the guys, the coaching staff is great, and the players, they're really taken to the way they're being coached, and we just hope that translate to winning some games.
Well, here's Coach Dollar. Wanted to ask you, Coach.
Coach Dollar.
Yeah, Coach Sage Tolentino.
I did not
a lot
leave
of
this
people
room
are
either,
saying-
so I want to know. I've been here the whole time. I
Oh.
had the guy. You know what? It's morning time here, so I had a little cup of coffee. So I
Oh,
ain't going
all
nowhere. I
Okay.
ain't going nowhere.
No donuts, just the coffee.
That's the coffee. I'm gonna
Okay.
say the dolphin when I visit. How about that?
Okay, yeah. Well, we're excited. We're excited to see you in the Philippines, for sure, for sure. But Coach Shad, talking about Sage Tolentino, you see a 7'1" player like him with his moves, his skills, his footwork, his balance, his aggressiveness. Do you see him evolving into something like a, I don't know, Dirk Nowitzki or a Porzingis, or are you going to model him after somebody, or will he be making his own identity?
So, and that's a great question. I think I really like when guys do look at other players and get some of their habits and most of their work habits, how they develop working wise, how much they in the gym, how they eat properly, how they sleep properly. I like when guys look at other players that have been successful and learn some of the characteristics that they had and to be successful. Now, but at the same time, he has to make his own identity as a basketball player. Even though he takes their habits, some of their good qualities, he has to make his own identity. And I truly believe that he's in a good place to do that. I think right now he's starting to eat properly. He's starting to weight train. He's starting to do everything that's necessary to make that successful jump from high school to college. And I tell everybody, there's no, you got to take the stairs up. You can't take the elevator. So every step is important. And he's making that step right now.
Yeah.
Well, Coach
And
Shad,
yeah, go ahead, Quinito.
no, I just wanted to ask, how has Coach West split the different functions of his assistant coaches? Like, for instance, Coach Chad, do you have a specific responsibility for the team? Coach DerMarr, the same thing?
Well, I think for that's a unique thing for our staff. Coaches letting everybody, everybody have different ideas and different strengths and weaknesses. And he's letting everybody kind of look at the game as a whole. DerMarr played in the NBA. DerMarr got great attributes when it comes to field and understanding what is good and what is not good from his playing career, from AAU to college to the NBA. He got a great understanding of the game. And same with me. I've coached a little longer, but I still have a great understanding. So whatever we see, whatever identity, whatever we see out on the court, he let us be who we are. So some days I might see something that need to be done defensively. He gonna let me do that. Some days it might be offensively. He might ask DerMarr something about the offensive set that might be similar to something he done. And so that's the great thing about Coach West, and that's one of the reasons why I came to Cincinnati.
Coach, how would you describe the training atmosphere at UC? I really would love to be able to. Wouldn't it be so fun to watch, Quinito?
Oh, no doubt. We have a strength and conditioning coach that does a lot of the strength and conditioning part of it. He does a lot with the nutrition and stuff like that. And again, like I said, we have a great staff here, and Coach West has built a great staff, and that staff is built with the idea of developing guys like Sage. And so that's kind of where everybody kind of have their strength, and so we kind of play on each other when it comes to that development part. And Coach is very serious about it. We just don't talk about it. We actually put it in place. A lot of people talk about development, but we actually meet and we actually really, really concentrate on developing each individual player in our program.
Ooh.
Yesterday we were talking, or the other day rather, we were talking to the Hamilton High School coach, Kevin Higgins, and Coach DerMarr. he was talking about the basketball tradition at University of Cincinnati, and the relationship that Cincinnati has with the Philippines actually goes beyond you, Coach DerMarr, because there were other Cincinnati players who played in the PBA. And I did some research. I just want to be able to share this with you. Art
Okay.
Long, Ryan Fletcher, Damon Flint, Pete Michael. Those guys all played in the Philippines.
Nice.
Plus, we had an Olympian, and Dyan, you remember this, Juan Carlo Piccio, a swimmer who swam for the Philippines at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And he went to school at the University of Cincinnati too. I remember I went over to visit him once on your campus and saw your great facility. So there's a lot of affiliation between Cincinnati and the Philippines. But Coach DerMarr, having played at Cincinnati yourself, why is Cincinnati such a great factory for producing great basketball players? I mean, Coach Higgins reminded us, LeBron James is from Ohio. So yeah, we know that. Coach DerMarr.
Well, I think it started back in the 60s with Oscar Robertson and those teams winning championships. And then it picked back up later when Coach Bob Huggins came in, and he came in as a new young coach and started making the Final Fours and just started winning games and bringing in these guys that, that were great players, and the crowd just started, coming in, and Cincinnati basketball has been on the map since that. And so all the teams that came after is really just trying to, live up to that standard and make it back to the championships in the 60s, make it back to the Final Four in the early 90s. And the fans, they don't expect it, but, they do, because they know that it's possible. They know, how Cincinnati basketball, how it's played. And that's what we're trying to get back to.
Well, there's got to be some kind of a model of a Cincinnati basketball player, someone whom the fans will embrace.
Yeah.
Do you see Sage Tolentino stepping into that model? If you want to call it a model, and what particular quality of Sage do you think makes him a right fit for that Cincinnati basketball tradition?
Well, the Cincinnati player model is a little different now, because the game is being played different. We have a different coach. Sage, we haven't had a guy like Sage before, a 7-foot guy so skilled. Even myself coming to Cincinnati, it was unique because, Coach Huggins was used to bringing in these junior college guys like P. Michael, who were like these big, strong guys who already played at JUCO, and they were already, grown men, and they had this, big, strong bully like Kenyon Martin. That's kind of how Cincinnati guys were played, hard defense, bully ball. But now, we try to mix some of that in with skill. And Sage, like I came in, I wasn't a bully, I was a skill player. Sage's going to come in and be, we never had a skilled 7-footer like that before. So if we can try to mix in, a little bit of, the toughness with the skill, then I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit,
awesome.
literally.
That's awesome. Hey, so what I want to do, because this is such awesome right now. And so, I'm in the office right now. We're preparing for our next game at the University of Georgia, which is going to be a big game for us. And so I got one of our other staff members that's also part of this program and development, and he's going to be a big part of it with Stage 2. And I'm going to invite him into this Zoom, and so he can talk to you guys also. And so this is just like I say, this is an exciting time in our program. And his name is Coach Andre Morgan, and I'll let him kind of introduce himself. And we just keep it going here at UC. And I told you, I am so excited about this. So he's coming right now. Hold on.
Well, thanks, Coach Chad. Now we've got Coach Andre Morgan.
Hi, Coach.
Hi there, Coach.
Hey, how are you all doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
we're
meet
from
everybody.
The Philippines. Yeah,
Good
we're
evening
from
Manila.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot already about I guess a few people on here. I just wanted to really introduce myself. I know obviously you know Coach Dollar, Coach Johnson. I'm actually sitting in his office right now. But my name is Andre Morgan. I'm an assistant basketball coach here at Cincinnati. And obviously this entire platform is about, Sage in terms of, talking about him and celebrating him. And, let me start off by saying we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have him on our team, a part of our program, our family. And we think he's got an extremely, extremely bright future in front of him.
Coach, with the time that you've seen Sage, you've spent some time in, what are some of the qualities that impress you most about him? I mean, his high school coach was just raving about him, and you guys seem so excited to have him as well on the team. What is it about him that really gets you so happy that he's with your team?
Well, yeah, let me start off by saying, basketball side, obviously he's got a ton of ability on that side. But he's an unbelievable person. I'm a big believer in, everybody adds energy, positive or negative, to any situation. And, every single person he's, been able to impact, be around, he's provided good energy towards them. When he comes on campus, he provides great energy to a practice, to a football game. He's just a joy to be around. And so, it kind of coincides with what we value here at, the University of Cincinnati. And so he fits right in.
What about your team this season, Coach Andre? Is it a major upgrade from last season? And when Sage comes in the next season, will it even be a further upgrade? What are the chances of Cincinnati this season and next season when Sage comes in?
Yeah, this is our first season here. And so instead of kind of reflecting on seasons where we weren't here, and evaluating what they did or didn't do well, we try to just focus on the future. And so obviously Sage is a tremendously big part of our future here at the University of Cincinnati. And, right now we're in the process of just, building a foundation that we can build on. And he's a huge piece, to us getting this program to where we want to get it. And so, to kind of answer your question, I think we're headed to some really, really cool areas, cool spots moving forward.
You touched on something that's quite important. You talked about family and how important that is. Coach DerMarr also mentioned that the Cincinnati basketball tradition and creating that family atmosphere within the team so that everybody has each other's back. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it starts with Coach Miller. He wants it to be a family. It's not something we talk about every single day. It's just something that we try to be. Coach DJ, Coach Johnson, he's got my back and I have his back. I haven't known him long, but that's just kind of what we do as a staff and as Bearcats. And we hope and, we try to recruit guys that, value the same things, and it kind of trickles into our team. And, you hopefully see it as well on the floor throughout the season. So.
Well, I don't know if we can wait for,
Coach West.
Please go ahead, Dyan.
No, you talked about the energy of the team, like with the success of the Cincinnati team, and you're a new group. How much pressure is it, or is it just you're setting up like your new system, and was it difficult in your first season, and how do you sort of get to integrate everybody and to get them into that mindset, physically, mentally, emotionally, to where you want everybody to be?
Well,
what are some of the secrets?
Well, I have no clue. Let me tell you that I don't know what the secrets are. I'm learning as I go a little bit. But I'll share a little story with you. This past Tuesday was our first game, and it was a lot of our other guys' first games in terms of in front of a crowd, in front of fans, to really get a true feel for the fan base. And I was blown away, at the care, the passion that our fans possess. And so that alone, kind of adds to what you're speaking to a little bit.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily pressure, because it's something as a basketball player and as a coach that you hope for and that you prepare for. We just want to do our best to, continue to build on what we have every single day and continue to grow, and hopefully, again, the pressure piece doesn't become a part of what we're doing. It's just, us kind of enjoying the process a little bit.
Coach DerMarr, Sage is 17 years old. You're playing, is it the Big 12 conference that Cincinnati's in?
Not yet. We'll be there soon.
Oh, you'll be there soon. Okay. But the games that are lined up for Cincinnati this season and next season when Sage comes in, those games are going to be physical. Big guys going to come in. They're going to probably try to move him out of his comfort zone.
Yep.
Do you think Sage is going to be prepared for the physicality that he'll probably face when he starts playing for Cincinnati?
Well, that's why we have, if not one of the best, physical trainers in the country, and Mike Rayfield. And Mike Rayfield gets those guys ready for that kind of game. And, and Sage is a tall, slim, skilled player, and guys are going to try to do that. But, we'll have Sage prepared to be able to, deal with that kind of stuff.
Well, we're excited to keep track of Sage's development,
Yes.
and for sure, with your care, Coach DJ, Coach Andre, Coach Chad, and Coach Miller, we're very excited to see how he progresses. I don't know if we can still wait for Coach Wes, but as far as I'm concerned, we've gotten a lot of information, a lot of insights from Coach DJ, Coach Chad, and Coach Andre. So we want to thank you very, very much for spending time with us and sharing your thoughts and insights about your phenomenal new recruit, Sage Tolentino. Dyan, do you have any final words?
No, I just wanted to thank them for their confidence and their belief. And it's really exciting that, a Filipino can be brought into this program, and hopefully we'll see him excel, not just in the college ranks, but in the NBA. So thanks, guys. And we look forward to your successful season. God bless.
Just before we go, Coach DerMarr, you have to have a message to your Filipino fans. They remember you, the NBA veteran who went over to play in the Philippines. Any special message for your Filipino fans?
I just want to thank, the Filipino fans for always supporting me, because some of you guys, you still message me and remember me from when I played there. And
Wow, that's nice.
There's been nothing but love there always. And it's always been my favorite place overseas to play. And I appreciate you guys. And I don't know if you guys noticed, because you didn't bring it up. I came back there. I forgot what year it was with Allen Iverson. Cheryl brought me and Allen Iverson back there for an event, and we played against some of the local players with some of the N1 players. So I've been back since I played.
Oh, what year was that?
I don't remember, but it was, I don't know if you guys remember, it's a big event that when Allen Iverson came there and I was with them.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
well, we hope in the future we can also have Coach Chad and
Coach Andre and Coach DJ.
Andre.
Hopefully we can see you back in the Philippines. Coach
I'd love
DJ.
to make it back. I still got friends there. I would love to make it back.
Well, I would love to make it back with Coach Johnson. I'm gonna need some help moving around a little bit.
Yeah. And
I would
Coach
love
Dollar, Coach Dollar, he'll always be welcome. With a name like that, he's gonna go places. Hey, thanks very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great
And
season.
thank you for taking care of Sage Tolentino. He's the Philippines' pride.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you all. Have a good one.